Hey there, race fans. It's Race 8 Top 5 with me, Frank 5. Race 1 of the playoffs is in the books, and one driver has already clinched his spot to move on to the round of 12. We all know who it was, and we all know who it probably was going to be, and in the end, he got some slime on him courtesy of Nickelodeon. Number 1, Martin Truex Jr., Mr. Mile and a Half, Mr. Dominator of 2017, captures his 5th win of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season, but more importantly, his first win of the playoffs, which moves him on to the round of 12 by capturing the win at the tails of the Turtles 400 today in Chicagoland Speedway. Coming in, we all knew Martin Truex Jr. was the favorite to win the championship, and we all knew he was probably going to advance himself from the round of 16 to the round of 12 with enough bonus points as well as a win. Well, that all happened today, but now without a little bit of some interesting things that happened today. Martin Truex Jr. failed pre-race LAS inspection a couple of times. He was able to be cleared and get to go to the grid and started the race in the 3rd position. On the first pit stop of the day, though, he was caught for speeding. But luckily, coming into serve his penalty, he cycled back with the leaders, and he didn't go a lap down. He was able to stay on the lead lap, worked his way actually to 10th at the end of stage 1, and kept getting the car better and better and better as the race went on. And by the beginning of the 3rd stage, he was one of the factors and contended for the win and pulled away from everybody. And we all knew that was probably going to happen as strong as Truex has been this season. But he was able to capture the win today over Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. All 5 finishers today were part of the playoffs. Number 2, Chase Elliott. A great start. Just like 1 year ago when we had a chance to win until we got a late race caution that hurt our chances. Today, in the 2nd stage, we were super strong. Won stage 2, earned ourselves some more playoff points to carry ourselves going into the next couple of weeks, knowing that we could possibly point our way in after Dover, or we'd like to win. But nonetheless, it was a great performance today from the 24 camp because 5.5-mile tracks during the playoffs are 5 tracks during the playoffs are 1.5 miles, and today, this effort by our team shows how strong we are to win a race and move forward. I'm super proud of the 24 team. It's a great start to the playoffs, and we can continue this momentum going into the next couple weeks. Number 3, Kyle Busch won the pole for today's race and looked very strong early on, dominating stage 1 and winning it. At the beginning of stage 2, he lost the lead to Kevin Harvick, and then all of a sudden, he found out, I got a loose wheel, so he had to come into the pit running. The reason being is because he and Daniel Suarez switched their pit crew members before the race this weekend just so they can get some improvement from the 18 camp and the 19 camp as well. Unfortunately, it bit Kyle. Not only did they get loose lug nuts, but when they came in to fill those lug nuts, went over the wall too soon, and Kyle was fell a lap down and could never get that lap back at all today, and he finished 15th place, and he said 15 words in his interview, which is the number of the place he finished today. So, not really happy, Kyle Busch. Number 4, Brad Keselowski finished 6th today, and a good race to start off his playoff hopes to try and win a championship. But now with a little bit of controversy this weekend leading up to the race between him talking about the Toyotas and how strong they are, and Kyle Busch took it out on him. Matter of fact, they were both riding the trucks in pre-race today, waving to the fans, and they never spoke a single word to each other. So the Keselowski-Kyle Busch feud is back. It's great publicity for the sport, but honestly, Brad Keselowski on Kyle Busch. Plus, he finished ahead of him today. Number 5, a lot of speeding penalties today, and a lot of them affected some of the guys in the playoffs. I mentioned Martin Truex Jr. We had Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who came in to serve an early pit stop because he made contact with the wall. He got a lap down, and then he got another lap down because of speeding. Austin Dillon got caught for speeding. Kurt Busch got caught for speeding. A lot of the playoff guys got caught for speeding today. And unfortunately, for 3 of those guys, they are below the cut line going into Loudon next week. Well, not Austin Dillon. He's above the cut line, and he's tied with Kurt Busch. Stenhouse is below the cut line. The other 2 below the cut line are Casey Kane and Ryan Newman. So these guys need to dig themselves out of a hole. Luckily, the last place is 8 points from the cut line. So that's not bad. You still can rebound, but you can't make a mistake in the first race. You make a mistake, you put yourself in a deep hole. That's not what you need to do to prove that you're a championship threat. You can't have these mistakes. You need to be mistake-free through the playoffs. And even though Martin Truex made a mistake today, he was able to rebound from that mistake. Just like he did a year ago when he got a lap down from an early pit stop that bit him under yellow. So, you can rebound from a penalty, but it all depends on how good you are the rest of the race or the rest of these next 2 races in the playoffs before the cut line race begins at Dover. So coming up, it's Lotta, New Hampshire. Who's going to win? Who's going to join Martin Truex in the playoffs? We'll find all those answers. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Congrats to Truex. Race 1 of the playoffs is in the books. And I'll see y'all next week.